Dear friends and subscribers, welcome to Cricket Happenings. And on the Cricket Happenings show, it's Afghanistan. As I told you, to me, they are the dark horses of the tournament, and they caused a huge upset today as they beat Sri Lanka by a very big margin. If you look at the way that they actually played, in fact, not only did they beat Sri Lanka, but Sri Lanka, having lost to Bangladesh, have made an early exit from the Asia Cup. Can you believe it? 5 times winners of Asia Cup, Sri Lanka, knocked out by Afghanistan out of the Asia Cup. So that would be the headlines. And I'll be talking about this particular game in a brief manner, and we'll also have a look at the finals. That is the Caribbean Premier League finals, where the Trinabgo Knight Riders got their third win a third Caribbean Premier League title as they beat the Guyana Amazon Warriors in the final. And also tomorrow India get on to their first assignment, taking on Hong Kong. So definitely, but I'm going to definitely start with the big blow that has happened in the Asia Cup, and we are talking about Afghanistan beating Sri Lanka by 91 runs today in the third match of Group B Asia Cup at Abu Dhabi. And let's talk about the game. So it was this particular toss was won by the captain, Afghanistan captain Asghar Afghan, and he decided that his wards would bat first. Well, Mohammad Shahzad and Hisanullah, the openers, really started with a bang, especially Mohammad Shahzad. He was dashing along. He's a great dasher, as we all know. And Lasith Malinga was really taken to the cleaners today by the Afghanistan batsmen, and they probably, after looking at his showing in the previous match, probably they wanted to target him, and that's what they precisely did. Mohammad Shahzad and Hisanullah blazed off 57 for the first wicket in 11 overs, so that was good going by any standards. And the pace bowlers were looking ineffective, barring Chamira, who started off with a very good opening burst, but later on gave way to some shoddy bowling. And it all happened, and then finally it was none other than Akila Dhananjaya, whom definitely Sri Lanka missed in the previous game against Bangladesh, coming in. And as the partnership was blossoming, it has gone to 57 for the first wicket. The first wicket fell, and that was I think it was Shahzad, after biffing 34 or 47, that is 4 fours and 1 6. He was LBW bowled Dhananjaya for 34. Hisanullah contributed 45 good runs with 6 boundaries, giving good support to Mohammad Shahzad. He was gone 45 65 with 6 fours. But the man who really made the difference was Rahmat Shah. Now, Rahmat Shah is someone who has a very good technique. One has really watched him in the Under 19 World Cup as to how he played, and Rahmat Shah definitely, to me, is the most technically perfect batsman in this Afghanistan team. And it's only thanks to him who actually, after the dismissal of Mohammad Shahzad and Ihsanullah, after the openers were dismissed with the score on 107, we saw Asghar Afghan, LBW bowler Surya for 1, and then Rahmat Shah got a good partnership with Hasmutullah Shahidi, normally an aggressive batsman, but due to the demands of the game, he tuned himself very well. But the other end, Rahmat Shah was the big difference, because he was the one who really held the innings together, not taking any risks, just going on to just nurdle the ball here and there, and start getting those singles. There were no big hits at all. Hasmutullah Shahidi, as I said, changed his game very well to the needs of the game, and both actually put together a very good partnership. Hasmutullah Shahidi and Rahmat Shah. And Rahmat Shah, as I said, technically looking very perfect. body totally coming in behind the line of the ball, and it was very good to see a player who is absolute to test perfection as far as test matches are concerned. And Rahmat Shah's contribution today was 72 good runs because he was the one who held the innings for Afghanistan, and that's the precise reason that Afghanistan could reach a score of 249 all out in 50 overs as he chiseled together 72 of 90 deliveries with only 5 boundaries. So it was a very, very good knock from Rahmat Shah, and he was the man of the match as well. Asghar Afghan was out. Shahidi contributed 37 of 52, 2 fours. Mohammad Nabi could make only 15 of 12 balls, a solitary wicket to Lasit Malinga, who had a bad day today at the office. Najmullah Zadran was out for 12, and Gulbuddin Naib for 5. And now the damage was done by Tisra Pereira at the end of the innings, as after I think Rahmat Shah was dismissed, and Hasmutullah Shahidi was gone. After that, there was a real collapse from 200 and they were 190 for 3 in the 41st over, and after that it was sort of a big collapse for them. But nevertheless, they went in some quest of quick runs, and Mohammad Nabi was out for 15, and then it was Tisra Pereira doing the cleaning up job as he wrapped it up by picking a 5-wicket bag. Najmullah Zadran out for a total of 14 balls, Gulbuddin Naib for 4, Rashid Khan for 13 of 6 with 2 boundaries, Aftab Alam was not on 7, Mujibur Rahman was bowled by Pereira for naught, and the Afghanistan were dismissed for 249 of their 50 overs. But as I said, it was all about Rahmat Shah, who stayed there, not taking any risks, and nurturing this Afghanistan innings to 249, and definitely looks a fine prospect, Rahmat Shah, a young player as well. Now looking at the bowling, Lasit Malinga was smashed today. 10 overs, 1 for 66. Chamira initially in his opening burst effective, but after that faltered. 10 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 43. Pereira 9 overs was the man who gave a lot of runs, but in the bargain picked up 5 wickets. So the 5-wicket bag for Tisra Pereira. Dhananjaya bowled economically and picked up both openers' wickets of Shahzad and Hassanullah. 10 overs, no maiden, 2 for 39. Dhananjaya De Silva 5 overs for 22. Shahan Jayasuriya 6 overs, no maiden, 1 for 22. Now the Sri Lankan chase started, which was to get 250 runs from their 50 overs. In fact, once again, Kushal Mendes was an early victim, as there was a ball from Mujibur Rahman that drifted and Mendes was beaten. He was gone LBW by Mujibur Rahman for the second consecutive duck in the Asia Cup, Kushal Mendes, and he's really struggling with his form, let me tell you that. So there was an early breakthrough that Afghanistan got with Mujibur Rahman being given the ball, and that is the confidence that the captain shows with Mujibur Rahman given the first ball, the first over to bowl at Sri Lanka. After that, it was Upul Taranga and Dhananjaya De Silva, but runs were not easy to come by. There was some tight bowling coming in, one from Mujibur Rahman. Aftab Alam was okay. Gulbuddin Naib was another one who was really keeping runs on a real tight check on the runs. Mohammad Nabi was doing a fantastic job. Rashid Khan also, and as I said, it was all about the spinners and Gulbuddin Naib who forced the Sri Lankans into committing a lot of errors, and Sri Lankans also the Afghanistan fielding was very, very sharp. The bowling was absolutely up to the mark. There were not much freebies coming in, and Sri Lanka had to work for each run. But one thought that there was a lot of strangeness in the Sri Lankan batting, where they were trying to get over. I mean, they were trying to hit the ball very hard. And not only that, that was something that they were doing, and also they were throwing away their wickets as well. So Taranga's contribution was 36 of 64, 3 boundaries. Dhananjaya De Silva was run out brilliantly by Samiullah Shenwari and Mohammad Shahzad for 23 of 38 balls, 2 fours and 1 6. But that was still nothing to really worry about. But the problem happened to be that there was no let up, because the Afghanistan bowlers kept coming, especially the spinners kept coming at the Sri Lankan batsmen. Pereira was bowled by Rashid Khan for 17 of as many balls, 2 fours. Angelo Matthews again was responsible for the run out of Shahan Jayasuriya. And well, that is, as I said, the running between the wickets was not really up to the mark, and there was a bit of a real sort of a lot of follies in the Sri Lankan batting. Pereira was on for 17. Angelo Matthews, after making 22 of 39 balls with 1 4, trying to hoist Mohammad Nabi into upper territory, was gone, caught by Rashid Khan, and wickets kept on falling. They were 54 for 2, 86 for 3, 88 for 4, 108 for 5, and when Matthews went, it was 143 for 6, and they still had Pereira. They had two all-rounders, Dasun Shanaka and Pereira, on the ground. But again, it was Tisra Pereira who contributed 28 of 36 before Gulbuddin Naib picked up his wicket by clean bowling him for 28. Shanaka was out for naught, then Jaya too, and then it was the spinner's handiwork which completed everything and forced the Sri Lankans out of the Asia Cup by bowling them out for 158. And this is something, as I said, it's a huge upset in the Asia Cup. But I always, as I said, Afghanistan were quite a dangerous team, especially considering the spin resources that they have, and also their batting started coming to the fore as well. And one definitely felt sorry, but definitely they lost to a better team today, and Afghanistan will be quite proud about it. Why not? I mean, this is a wonderful victory for Afghanistan, and I think the Sri Lankans were all at sea against the Afghanistan bowlers. And there was also a method of madness about the Sri Lankan batting, where they were trying to hit the ball very hard, whereas they could have bided their time at the crease, which nobody was willing to do, and that resulted in the Sri Lankans being knocked out of the Asia Cup, 158 all out. Look at that Afghanistan bowling, which makes a tremendous, very happy reading. Mujibur Rahman, the spinner, 9 overs, 1 maiden, 32 runs and 2 wickets to Mujibur Rahman. Aftab Alam, 7 overs, none for 34. Gulbuddin Naib did a wonderful job with the ball, 8 overs, 2 for 29. He's a very, very handy all-rounder. Mohammad Nabi, as usual, drew his lines very well. 10 overs, 1 maiden, 30 runs and 2 wickets. At Rashid Khan, 7.2 overs, no maiden, 2 for 26. Tremendous job. Keep up the work, Afghanistan. They have started in right earnest in the Asia Cup by upsetting the apple cart of Sri Lanka. And what a player Rahmat Shah has, what a player he would be. Rahmat Shah has shown to everybody here in the United Arab Emirates as what a good player he could be. Rahmat Shah, technically very perfect, holding the innings together with that very, very important innings of 72, which helped the Afghanistan to a reasonable, a respectable total of 249 all out. So well done, Afghanistan. So now, now we will look at the final of the Caribbean Premier League. And tomorrow, let me tell you that India getting their first assignment as they take on Hong Kong tomorrow, and they take them on in Dubai on the same ground and on the same pitch where they played against Pakistan. So India, so nothing to really talk about. Definitely writing on the wall that India is the one, but unless Hong Kong can really show something extraordinary tomorrow, it's very difficult to say. But definitely India would be hoping that they would be getting this victory under their belt. They would be starting with a win over Hong Kong in the Asia Cup, which would be their first match. And also, let's remember one thing: the D-Day is coming up on Wednesday, when India take on Pakistan. So Pakistan would be having enough rest, and they would be raring to go. But as far as India is concerned, after playing against Hong Kong, so one is also wondering whether there will be one would be seeing a lot of youngsters being given an opportunity. Already Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain, has hinted at unveiling the left-arm pace bowler Khalil Ahmed tomorrow against Hong Kong, and he has been doing a good job. Khalil Ahmed, he has got of pace, bounce, swing, so he's sort of an entire package according to Rohit Sharma, and I'm sure tomorrow one is going to see Khalil Ahmed, the left-arm pace bowler, being unveiled against Hong Kong. And we'll also have see some changes because, as I said, the India-Pakistan clash on Wednesday, which is the super clash of the Asia Cup, is something that everyone is looking forward to, and that is very important. As I said, Pakistan would be totally fresh when they walk in to take on India. But as far as India are concerned, they would have to probably rest some of their key players so that they are very fresh against Pakistan. So one has to really watch what is the approach that the Indians are going to take. Now, very quickly, talking about the Caribbean Premier League, Trinabgo Knight Riders were the champions of Caribbean Premier League 2018 at Tarubas today in the new ground, brand new ground, where they defeated the Guyana Amazon Warriors by 8 wickets, and TNT Riders taking their third Caribbean Premier League title. Looking at the scoreboard here, Guyana Amazon Warriors made 147 for 9. Luke Ronke was the highest scorer with 44 of 35 balls with 6 fours and 1 6. Ali Khan did a wonderful job of knocking off Cameron Delport early in the piece of the very first ball of the match by clean bowling him for a duck. And Ali Khan has definitely proved a point here. And Hetmir was out for 15, 24 to Jason Mohammed. Walton won, but again, it was not so easy. Yesterday, the bowlers, the Trinabgo Knight Riders bowlers did a wonderful job. Ali Khan won for 23 for 29 for Peary, was the man of the match. 4 overs, 1 for 29 for Fawad Ahmed, continued his good work. 4 overs, 2 for 30 for Bravo, 1 for 31 Sunil Noreen. Trinabgo Knight Riders were chasing 148, and they started off by having a new pair of openers yesterday. They decided to send in Brendan McCullum and Dinesh Ramadan to open the innings, which really was good because they raised 50 in the 6th over in the chase with Ramadan contribution 24 of 30 balls. He did not hit a 4 under 6 because he was basically trying to take the singles and give the strike to Brendan McCullum. But Brendan McCullum smacked 39 of 24 with 5 fours and 2 sixes. But the man who did the most damage and took them to victory was none other than the player of the Caribbean Premier League 2018. We are talking about Colin Munro, the player of the match, and the player of the match was Peary, but player of the series of the Caribbean Premier League was none other than Colin Munro, who broke the record of Chadwick Walton and made, if I'm not wrong, it was over 567 runs that he made. But look at that knock of his. He was in spanking form throughout the CPL as he slammed an unbeaten 68 of just 39 deliveries, which included 6 fours and 3 sixes, to take Trinabgo Knight Riders to their third CPL title 2018, and congratulations to the Trinabgo Knight Riders. Bravo was retired hurt for 4, Ingram was not out on 7, and that was the end of the Caribbean Premier League 2018. Tanveer was costly, 3.3, none for 25. Green, 4 overs, 1 for 30, did his job. Imran Tahir was effective, 4 overs, none for 17. But Emrit was slammed by Colin Munro for 3 sixes in one particular over to really make things easy towards the end. Shepherd, 3 overs, 1 for 29. And Colin Munro was the player of the match, a player of the Caribbean Premier League 2018. Take a bow, Colin Munro. He was simply devastating, one could say. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that really brings an end, and tomorrow I'll be seeing you, dear fans and subscribers, with the match summary on the India versus Hong Kong game, which is coming up in the Asia Cup. But let's remember Wednesday, where India take on Pakistan in the super clash of the Asia Cup 2018. So that's it from me, your host Ram, for the cricket show for today, and it's good night from my studios. Thank you.